Well, I don't know about you. We'll see what you do for your MVP, but you can go multiple different ways. The reason I'm going with this player is kind of my tiebreaker is last week. I had Brock Purdy, so I didn't want to go with him again just for the sake of switching it up. And this was the best defensive performance we've seen all season. So let's just stick with the linebackers. Fred Warner, MVP, forced fumble, interception. You're wearing the jersey. And not only that, but if you watch the game, he's constantly carrying receivers up the seam. There was multiple checkdowns from Dak that were a result of them trying to go to a receiver up the seam, and they just couldn't do it because Fred was right there carrying the receiver like it was nothing. So Fred Warner played amazing football, absolutely deserves to be MVP. He was the tone setter in that game for sure.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that, with the game that Fred Warner had. Obviously, the trifecta. He's the quarterback of that defense, and like you said, that defense had the best game that they've had. Well, even though you said because you gave it to him last time, the quarterback of the offense also had the best game that they've ever had, and the level of difficulty was raised higher than any defense that they've played up until this point, allegedly, right? I have to give it to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is constantly the media and fan base and things like that are constantly waiting for Brock Purdy to fail, right? There was all of this talk, oh, yeah, Brock Purdy's doing this, but it's part of Kyle Shanahan's system. Brock Purdy's doing this, but look at the defenses that he's going to. Brock Purdy's doing this, but look at the weapons that he has. Well, this was the game that allegedly Brock Purdy was going to get was going to get exposed, right? He's going up against the top defense, and the only thing that was exposed was Brock Purdy's Timothy, right? Brock Purdy is the guy. For me, this game, Jesse, no questions about Brock Purdy ever. I mean, I personally didn't really have. I already saw that this was the guy. But now I think where I just thought, he was perfect for Kyle Shanahan, and him and Kyle Shanahan will make this offense. Now I think Brock Purdy can literally elevate players as well. And I know that's hard to say because you're like, well, look at the players that he's throwing to. But the throws he was making, Jesse, the time he was creating, his awareness, his confidence, it's only going to get better. And we've seen, 12 games of him now? He hasn't thrown an interception since January 1st. So it's like 8 games, including playoffs, or 9 games, including the playoff, Jesse. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, how much time do you need? If the guy's consistently doing the same thing over and over, regardless of who's on the other side of the ball, to me, I'm extremely happy he's the quarterback of our team. And yeah, I mean, look, they took all the starters out in the fourth quarter. They could have easily put a 50 burger on these guys if they kept everybody out there. So to me, I give it to Brock Purdy. I'm not mad at the Fred Warner MVP, but you got to give Brock Purdy credit for continuing to shut up the haters, even when, supposedly this was the toughest challenge that he was going to have.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, the only reason I didn't go with him is because I went with him last week and I wanted to switch it up. And Fred Warner, I think, was certainly the MVP of the defense. I figured if I went Fred Warner, you would go opposite, and you did. So that's perfect. We, for as much production as we have, we don't have a pre-production meeting. So, we do a pretty good job, though, of making sure that we spread the love for all the 49ers. Tua brings up a great question here and says, just want to know, do you think Brock Purdy might be the first QB since Shanny was the coach of this team to play in a Pro Bowl? Well, it's funny you say that because during the offseason, I think we had a Pro Bowl topic. I don't know if it was you and I, Sunil. It might have been Grant and I, if I remember correctly. So it was over on his channel. But we talked about one player that we think could make a Pro Bowl that hadn't previously, and my pick was Brock Purdy. And I think that, and that was during the offseason. I think certainly we're starting to see that. And, a lot of it had to do preseason with, I didn't have a lot of respect for the quarterbacks in the NFC, but Brock Purdy certainly is showing that I mean, if there was right now, if you just chose the top 5 quarterbacks to play in the Pro Bowl for the league, he'd be one of them also. So it really doesn't matter AFC or NFC. Brock Purdy's playing really good football. So yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I just don't see his pace. I'm not saying 4 touchdowns every week or anything like that, but I just overall what he's doing for the first 5 games, I just don't see that pace slowing down. That's just me.
He could easily be close to 40 touchdowns this year because multiple touchdown games is not a problem for him. So I don't know. I do think that Jimmy made it to a Pro Bowl as an alternate. So I don't know if that counts. But my answer to that is,
did he though? I don't know that he did.
I think he did. I think he did. But I think
it might have been the Super Bowl year, but he couldn't go. Yeah. All right.
So that's why I think the answer to this is no. Because I do think that Brock Purdy will be picked, but I do not think he will play in a Pro Bowl because he will be playing in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. I love it. I love the optimism for sure. Spider Ombre says Steelers D, Dallas D, TJ, Micah. Okay. Hey, TJ
definitely is better than Micah right at this point.
Yeah, he put an imprint on that game on Sunday too. 49ers Throwback says my award goes to Kyle Shanahan. Let's go Niners. I'm actually shocked that the Shanahan himself over here didn't choose him. But you know.
Oh, Shanahan's getting some praise. Don't worry, the show is still young. The awards are going to, you know, anybody could have got. There's so many people to be awarded, right? Jake Moody still hasn't missed a kick. You know, like you know, he might be the second greatest. He might be the second greatest
question. I'm sure it's Shanahan related. This guy's
you'd be surprised. I think Jake Moody, the discussion might start. Is he the second greatest 3rd round pick of the 49ers in history behind Fred Warner? That discussion is being brought up. I don't know by who, but it is being talked about.
By who? I don't know by who. You are the discussion. You're the only discussion. It's you. It's 100% you.
I'm the drama?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You're the drama. It's you.